Hello, I am going to give you a meditation on breathing today, particularly poignant at the moment. So just get yourself comfortable. You can be sprawled whichever way you like, and take a couple of nice deep breaths to settle yourself. I shall read a sutra from the Radiant Sutras by Lauren Roche. I will then talk a bit about breath and what it cues you into for meditation, what it has to offer us. And then I'll read the sutra a couple more times, calling out some poignant points. This is Sutra number 3. Enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Breath flows in, filling. In this moment, drink eternity. Breath flows out, emptying, offering itself to infinity. Cherishing these moments, mind dissolves into heart. Heart dissolves into space. Body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. Breath in Sanskrit or in yoga is Pranashakti, which means a life force. And so through our breath, we're being called to give attention to our life force. And the way that we breathe is often very reflective of the way that we live our lives, how we use our life force. And so is a shallow, panicked breath, a held breath, representative of a busy, panicked life, lacking in connection, time for depth? Or is your breath long and strong and deep and nourishing, reflective of a long, strong life? Because how we breathe also cues into our autonomic nervous system, and rapid, shallow breaths through the mouth, irregular breaths through the mouth, held breath, will all cue in our sympathetic nervous system, which is fight and flight. That's our stress state. And most of us tend to live our lives in stress state, racing around. Whereas breathing in and out through the nose, long and slow and deep, using your diaphragm to draw the breath really deep into the body, will cue in your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest, your healing space, the space where our immune system is at its most optimal. The start of the sutra: enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. These turning points. The Greek root of crisis, can mean turning point, an axis, a time to reflect, a sense of opportunity. And so our breath, this turning point of breathing in and breathing out, allows us to reflect on how we use our life force. And we are being called at the moment in this crisis, which is all about respiratory issues, to examine how we use our life force, how we look after ourselves and each other. And a breath is a cue then to slow down and see our power, see our life force. And even in moments of perceived quietude and stillness, when you're just breathing, you think nothing's happening. Actually, so much is going on. As you inhale oxygen, it passes through the lungs into your bloodstream and goes to every cell in your body. The body is busily working away, humming away all the time. And your breath is very much what you take in and put out into the world, how we create our lives. That creative force, Pranashakti, is creative life force. So what is it that we're breathing in and taking in to allow to create ourselves? And what is it that we're putting out into the world around us? What is our contribution? What do we give? What do we exhale from the heart out into the world? And that breath of in and out, that constant pulse, is a reminder to connect to your life force, but life force not just in terms of how you live your life, but greater life force, to consciousness, to love, to God, to the universe, to whatever it is that works for you. So enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Every breath, a potential moment of transformation, to reset, to review, and of melting and of merging, the transformation from the external to the internal and external again. Breath flows in, filling in this moment. Drink eternity. Be greedy to take in life. Breath flows out, emptying, offering itself to infinity, offering itself. An acknowledgement of maybe something sacred you're offering to infinity. Cherishing these moments. We take so much for granted in life, and indeed our breath. But when we bring our attention to it, it's an invitation to cherish the simple moments which hold so much magic and power. The mind dissolves into heart. We move from thinking, working in sets of beliefs, trying to think our way around situations, down into the heart, to acting from a place of love, of instinct. And heart dissolves into space. From that place of love, we can release ourselves into something greater. We assimilate into space, into oneness, into pure life force, consciousness. Body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. The pulse and the vibration of the breath. Breathing in fullness, taking in whatever it is that fills you up in life. And emptiness, just a fertile spaciousness for you to step into, waiting for you to fill. Enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Breath flows in, filling. In this moment, drink eternity. Breath flows out, emptying, offering itself to infinity. Cherishing these moments. Cherishing. Mind dissolves into heart. Heart dissolves into space. Body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. The rhythms of life transform. This moment, drink eternity. offer yourself to infinity. Heart dissolves into space. So whatever moments you can take today to tune in to your breath, notice how nourishing it is, the most essential part of you, to animate you, to make you come alive. Use it as an opportunity to focus on the power of your life force, but also on the peace and the nourishment that it brings, the reassurance just knowing that we keep breathing, especially at a time where we might be nervous to breathe in something which is not good for us. Maintaining strong, clear, calm breath actually will help us navigate the situation from a place of peace and strength. You guys have epic days.